and welcome. I am Nikita Kapoor and you're watching the Daily Jagran. In this special segment, we will decode all the top stories coming from across the world. Let's begin. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has extended an olive branch, or so it may seem on the surface. Speaking from Tehran alongside Iran's president, Shehbaz Sharif said that Pakistan is open to hold talks with India on what he called long-standing issues, prominently including Kashmir and, interestingly, the water treaty. But India has responded swiftly. While Shehbaz made this very statement on Iranian soil, India did not waste time laying down its red line. The message from India is clear. The only point of discussion with Islamabad is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the Ghulam Kashmir. That's it. No other issue, not even the Indus Water Treaty is on the table. This is not just another diplomatic exchange. This comes at a time when Pakistan is desperately grappling with water crisis at home, a crisis that experts say could push the nation into extreme scarcity. Rivers are drying up. Reservoirs are depleting from Karachi to Lahore. Taps may soon start running dry. And so are Pakistan's options. The Indus Water Treaty, brokered by the World Bank in 1960, has long governed the shared use of 6 rivers, with India getting control over the eastern rivers and Pakistan over the western ones. Despite wars and hostilities, the treaty has endured, but now water itself has become a weapon, or at least a pressure point. And India, it's no longer sitting idle. As per Reuters, central ministries have been asked to fast-track water infrastructure projects across Jammu and Kashmir, specifically those affecting the western rivers. The goal? To fully utilize India's share of water under the treaty legally, strategically, decisively. This is not a violation of the treaty. This is India enforcing its rights under it. And make no mistake, in a geopolitical landscape where water security is becoming as critical as border security, this is a calculated move. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has reiterated again and again that the only unfinished business with Pakistan is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Prime Minister Modi too has been uncompromising on this front. So while Shehbaz Sharif seeks to open a channel, India says it doesn't exist unless it runs through POK. The question now isn't whether India and Pakistan will talk. The question is, when the taps run dry, what are Pakistan's options? Its AIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi, already viral these days for his razor-sharp remarks on Pakistan, has again taken a jibe from Kuwait, this time where he addressed members of the Indian diaspora. In his speech, Owaisi took direct aim at Pakistan's recent attempt to pass off an old image, yes, an actual photo from a 2019 Chinese military drill, as a supposed moment of glory for Pakistan over India. The photo in question, a dramatic frame of Chinese PHL-03 rocket launchers taken by photographer Huang Hai 6 years ago. Now this image was not just misused, it was framed and presented literally by Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir to Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, claimed as evidence of Pakistani strike, that too on India. Let that sink in. A Chinese military photo recycled, rebranded, morphed as a Pakistani military win. And Asaduddin Owaisi did not hold back. And he said it takes brains to copy. And clearly, Pakistan lacks brain. Let's be clear. This is not just a meme-worthy moment. It's a serious reflection of how disinformation is being weaponized. Yet, despite the digital footprint, the image was presented as a souvenir to the Prime Minister, a move that not only backfired, but now leaves Pakistan red-faced on the global stage. And Owaisi, he has turned that blunder into a blistering one-liner that's now trending on social media. Listen in to what AIMIM chief Owaisi said.
Fact about the fact. I think it was yesterday the Pakistani army chief had gifted a photo to the Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. President of Pakistan was there, the Speaker of National Assembly was there. And these stupid jokers, they want to compete with India. They had given a photograph of a 2019 Chinese army drill, claiming it's a victory over India. Now this is what Pakistan indulges in. They cannot even give a proper photograph. तो हम बचपने में हम स्कूल में सुनते थे कि अक्सर स्कूल में क्या होता था कि हम अच्छे पढ़ने वाले बच्चे के बाजू पे बैठता था. तो नकल करने के लिए अकल भी चाहिए. इन नालायकों को अकल भी नहीं है. So you just imagine that your own country's Prime Minister, President, Speaker of National Assembly is there. Your so-called Mr. Field Marshal is there, and the Field Marshal gives a photograph of a Pakistani Chinese drill of PHL-03 in 2019. So this is what Pakistan indulges in, and that is why you must not, whatever Pakistan is saying, don't even take it with a pinch of salt. Rely on what our foreign ministry is saying, our official spokesperson are saying.
French President Emmanuel Macron is in the news and trending on social media for a playful exchange with his wife Brigitte Macron. That has now become a global gossip. The video in question was captured as the couple touched down in Hanoi, Vietnam. Right after the touchdown, the doors of the planes are opened, and just then, his wife's hand swoops into the frame and appears to push his face aside. For a split second there, Macron looks surprised, and then, like a seasoned politician, he composes himself and waves to the crowd almost as if nothing happened. But the internet noticed everything. Within hours, the clip went viral. Was it a playful push, a light-hearted moment between a husband and a wife, or as some speculated, a glimpse of marital tension on the tarmac? So what's the real story? Macron himself clarified that the moment during a press conference, saying, and I quote, "My wife and I were squabbling. We were rather joking and I was taken by surprise." He insisted it was all in good fun, nothing more, nothing less. The French president criticized the overreaction, saying people were reading too much into an innocent gesture between two people who know each other better than anyone else. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron have been married since 2007. Their relationship has always attracted attention, not just because of 25 years age gap, but because of how they met. Macron was a teenager at school and Brigitte was his drama teacher. Macron now clearly asked everyone to not read between the lines too much and not twist the now viral video. Pakistan copies India. Yet again, like every time, India has hired Jason Miller, a senior advisor to President Trump and a man with years of campaign and media strategy experience, and someone who helped shape Trump's messaging machine during the 2016 and 2020 election campaigns. Meanwhile, Pakistan has taken a similar approach. Pakistan has hired Keith Schiller, Trump's former bodyguard, close aide, and director of Oval Office operations. Let's start with Keith Schiller, a name that might not be known in every household, but one that carries serious weight in Trump world. Before joining the White House, Schiller was the director of security at Trump Organization, and for nearly 2 decades, he was a constant presence at Donald Trump's side. He wasn't just a bodyguard, he was a trusted confidant, someone who physically and politically shielded Trump through numerous controversies. Now Keith has registered through Javelin Advisors, a lobbying firm to represent Pakistan's interests in Washington. His mission? To build economic partnerships and improve ties between Islamabad and the United States government, particularly as Pakistan faces diplomatic isolation and a shaky relationship. This comes only few days after India hired Jason Miller, a Trump ally and a strategic communicator. Let's now ask the big question. Why now? Why did Pakistan scramble and hired a representative so soon? India's Operation Sindoor has not only redrawn the red lines of conventional engagement with Pakistan, but also reshaped the international narrative around Pakistan. Pakistan, reeling from economic crisis, internal instability, and global condemnation after India's Operation Sindoor, has responded with a flurry of desperate diplomatic activity. Hiring Keith Schiller, a man known more for loyalty than diplomacy, is Pakistan's attempt to get a foot in the Trump-aligned door. Let's not forget, Schiller isn't a traditional diplomat or strategist, but what he does have is access to Trump's world, access to Trump's trust. So, as the dust settles after another tense military flashpoint, India has brought the strategist, Pakistan, the shield. The next chapter in Indo-Pak diplomacy may not unfold on the border, but in think tanks and lobbying firms. A dramatic claim from Kremlin raises fresh concerns over the security of one of the world's most powerful men, Russian President Vladimir Putin. According to state-run Russian media, President Putin's helicopter narrowly escaped what could have been an assassination attempt during a visit to the border region of Kursk last week. The alleged attackers, Ukrainian drones. The details are murky and politics even murkier. But here's what we know so far. On May 20, President Putin was in Kursk region, a part of western Russia that borders Ukraine, and one that's been under heightened military tension since the war began over 2 years ago. It was during this visit Russian media reports that Putin's helicopter came under attack, not from enemy fire on the ground, but allegedly from Ukrainian drones. The report comes from Russian news agency TASS, which quotes a senior Russian air defense commander saying that the drone strike was a part of major coordinated attack. That's his words, major coordinated attack, and that the Putin's aircraft was directly in the line of fire. Now, while that sounds like a serious national security incident, Russia has not released any images, videos, or flight data to support the claim. This alleged attack, if confirmed, would mark one of the most direct threats to Putin's life since the war began. It's important to note, Ukraine has not responded to these allegations yet. New warning from the United States of America that could decide the fate of international students on American soil, including Indians. If you're an Indian student studying in the United States or planning to head there, here's something you cannot afford to miss. The US Embassy in India has just issued a direct and rather unsettling advisory. If you skip class, or drop out of your course, or even leave your program of study without properly informing your school, you could be deported. Yes, deported. This is not an empty warning. According to the official statement, doing so may result in your student visa being revoked, and worse, you may lose your eligibility for future US visas. It's a sharp reminder to students, your visa is not just a stamp on a passport. It's a contract, a commitment, and any breach of that contract has serious consequences. This warning comes amid heightened anxiety Just last month, reports emerged that the US is actively considering a bill that could scrap the OPT program, a key pathway for foreign students to stay and work in the United States for 1 year after graduation. OPT, or Optional Practical Training, is what gives students from abroad the ability to stay on after completing their degrees, gain real-world experience, and in many cases apply for longer-term work visas. But if this bill passes, all of that can vanish. No OPT, no transition, just graduation and goodbye. That too, only if you follow Trump's rules. Now let's put this in perspective. Over 2 lakh Indian students were enrolled in US universities as of last year. But let's be clear, this is not about creating panic. It's about being prepared. If you are a student currently in the US or planning to go, you must know your rights and your responsibilities. Maintain full-time enrollment. Don't skip your classes. Inform your university of any changes. Starting August 1, 2025, significant new restrictions are coming to your favorite UPI apps. Whether you use PhonePe, Paytm, Google Pay, or any other platform, the National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI, is rolling out new rules that will limit how often you can check your balance, access autopay, and track transaction status. This is not just a technical change, it's something that could directly impact how you manage your money every single day. Let's break it down. According to the circular issued by NPCI to banks and payment service providers, users will face daily caps and time restrictions on some commonly used UPI services. From August 1, you will only be allowed to check your account balance 50 times in 24 hours. Although it's enough, but if you use 2 UPI apps, you will get 50 checks on each, which is fine. But if you're someone who habitually checks your balance after every transaction or simply wants to double check before spending, you will need to be a little more mindful going forward. Next, autopay mandates. We all love convenience of automatic payments, whether it's for electricity, OTT subscriptions, or EMIs. But here's what's changing. No more autopay processing during peak hours. What's peak hours? That means between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Your scheduled payments will not go through. Autopay will only work during non-peak hours, something that could lead to delays, especially if your biller expects payment within a specific window. Another key change is in how transaction status checks are handled. Let's say your payment fails, maybe due to a network issue or a server glitch. Usually, the app pings the bank's server multiple times to confirm the transaction's final status. Well, from August 1, repeated API calls will stop after specific error codes. That means you may not know whether your money went through or not. You will likely have to wait for a manual confirmation or hope for a refund if the amount was deducted. Now here's another restriction. You'll only be able to request a list of accounts linked to your mobile number 25 times a day. So why is NPCI doing all this? According to their official note, these rules are designed to make the system simpler and safer. The real aim is to reduce API load, prevent system misuse, and ensure more stable digital payment infrastructure as the user base continues to grow. But make no mistake, these changes will inconvenience users, especially those who rely heavily on UPI for their day-to-day finances. NPCI has also issued a strict warning to all the payment service providers. If the new rules are not followed, penalties will be imposed, which could include API restrictions or even freeze on new customer additions. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor gave a clear and stern warning to Pakistan. He said that if Pakistan targets India again, India will hit back, that too with more strength. Shashi Tharoor at a diplomatic forum in Guyana said that India will retaliate strongly to any provocation from Pakistan. Remember, Shashi Tharoor is heading an all-party parliamentary delegation as a part of India's post-Operation Sindoor diplomatic outreach. Listen in to what Shashi Tharoor said.
What I will say is the terrorists got what they deserved, and those who backed them and continued backing them even after this tragic incident, they also got what was coming to them. And I'm still saying this in measured tones. I'm not here to sort of rattle sabers. We are at peace today and we want to remain at peace. That's also a very strong message. But we want to remain at peace with strength. As your president said yesterday, not out of fear. We are not afraid that these people will hit us again. If they hit us again, they're going to get it back worse. We are determined to convey our steely determination and resolve. And we want the world to react also not with fear, but also not with indifference. We want the world to understand. And we want the world to understand why and what. Why is because we've been enduring terrorist attacks for nearly 4 decades. And what is that we are going to respond in a measured, calibrated, precise manner to ensure that no act of terrorism goes unpunished. If you come and hurt us, there will be a price to pay. If you leave us alone to get on with our business of economic development and growth, we will happily do that and we will leave you alone. That's the message to those people who have chosen so far to behave in this atrocious manner.
Parts of India are battling nature's fury. Kerala and Maharashtra continue to reel under heavy rainfall. Meanwhile, Karnataka is on alert, especially the coastal areas. The Met Department has issued heavy rainfall warnings for Odisha and West Bengal as well. Visuals on your screen show how early monsoon has thrown the life out of order. Streets are flooded, roads are submerged. Locals are not only battling monsoon mayhem, but waterlogging and long traffic snarls too. People were seen wading through knee-deep water. Situation is no different in Maharashtra. Dozens of people were evacuated from severely affected areas. Multiple cases of waterlogging and short circuits as well as wall collapses have been reported across Mumbai. Meanwhile, no loss of life has been reported so far due to these incidents. As per IMD, torrential rainfall will continue in Mumbai over the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, Delhi NCR too will witness moderate showers and gusty winds at the speed touching 60 kilometers per hour. This is all what we have time for in this special segment. For more news and updates, you can follow the Daily Jagran or log on to jagran.com. You can also download the Jagran app. Thanks for watching. This is Nikita Kapoor signing off.